evening, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us again in this amazing Zoom presentation. Anastasia did it. So first of all, thank you, Anastasia. Big hug for you and for all your work and all the people know Anastasia. She's our specialist. For me, is the Acro Queen, and uh, she did an amazing presentation for today. Today we are going to start with the first part from the acro with the new codes and all the new rules. So be kind and please open all the cameras, turn on, maintain the microphone off, but please turn on. And remember, we have interpretation, so be sure you are in the correct channel you want to hear. So thank you for sure, all the people in PanAm Aquatics for helping us in these Zooms and webinars and all the things we try to do for you. And thank you, Anastasia, to be here with us.
Thank you so much, Victoria. It's a big pleasure to be here, and thank you, PanAm, for this invitation. I'm super happy to share with you knowledge, and it's different from what all of you might saw before in Lima, and it's definitely something new from what you saw in September, October, November. We also add in this presentation a Q&A. Maybe some of you saw this amazing file that was done by our group, and I'm super grateful for all of you to be here, and I'm pretty sure we will have amazing time. And as always, reminder, there are no stupid questions, and no one is going to charge you. And let's begin. So we are here to go more specifically. So we will not go through like basic stuff. We will jump already, in allowances, in videos, and some more explanations, because since we start doing lectures, all of us, the whole team all over the world, we start getting feedback. And thank you again, coaches and swimmers, officials, everyone, for providing the feedback, because after your questions, we're able to understand, okay, what is not clear, how we can modify. So thank you so much. And I think we should start because we have plenty of materials, and I hope you have tea and or coffee or cookies wherever you are. Okay, let me share the screen, please. Okay. I will try to put it on the whole screen. Okay, I hope you can see it. All good? Amazing. Yay. Super. And before we start, I would like to thank the whole fantastic team who stayed behind this work. Of course, big thanks to our leader, Lisa Schott. Big thanks to Rose from China, Luciana, Kara, Jessica, Aldo, a little bit me, and of course, Svetlana from Ukraine. The whole team worked hard to give you another catalog, another baby. And we continue to collect feedback. We continue to make it better, make it more user-friendly, and we hope one day it will be super perfect. But I can tell you from experience that we have at these days, this version of the catalog comparing to the previous rules is more user-friendly and is easier. There are some underwater stones, but today we will speak about it, and I will try to explain you a little bit in easier way how to look differently to understand these specifics. And I think I already know where people usually have questions, so I put more videos there, and you will be great, I'm sure. Good. So just to mention, you all know from what we start counting acro. In teams, we will speak today only about team acro. We start count acrobatic movement in teams or technical team or combo or acrobatic routine team free. We start counting when you have 4 swimmers in construction. So in general, 4 or more. And it's the job of the coach to place it whatever they wish. Or you have like this, or you have 4 like this, or you have 2, 4, 6 swimmers, or you have 7, whatever. But remember, if you have in general 3, this is not an acrobatic movement. This would be your artistic impression. Do not limit yourself. Remember, with the new factors, artistic impression like values a lot. So don't skip it. We have very valuable artistic impression. One question, and you can see it in the bottom of the slide. There are some movements where you have 4 swimmers in total and more, which is not considered as acrobatic movement. They look like pair assist action. You see boost type and other swimmers are assisting. So it's not the acro, and usually this top swimmer is halfway in the water. So we don't consider this as a big team acro. You don't have to declare it. We consider it as transition. So again, do not limitate yourself. Just a small recommendation from us. If you're not sure if it's acro or no, better to send to World Aquatics, ask a question, you will get official paper, and you will be safe. Then you will apply something, you don't stop yourself, and you get a base mark, or you get penalty. So no one wants that. But we really, really want to encourage you to use unique choreographies. Okay. So if you have any question, please write them in the chat or write it on a paper, and when I will make a pause for questions, you can ask them, okay? Let's move a little bit. And as we spoke many times before, if you have only 2 swimmers, either it will be pair acrobatic or pair assist action. Remember, pair assist action, you never declare. Pair acro, you declare in duets and mixed duets. Okay, next. What is also interesting, the algorithm, how the degree of difficulty is built. As you remember, to have your DD, you summarize each component. Remember, we have our rainbow salad, construction plus direction, position, area of support, rotational construction, rotation in the air, and bonus. And together they form degree of difficulty. And in these new rules, we have one more thing, which is called base mark. Before, we didn't care about it. Now, base mark is the core of your acrobatic algorithm. So whatever you have, there's always a base mark, 0.5, and everything else is like a snowball. You add, and you get your DD. If some of you already try and play with amazing calculator, which is free, it was official document, and I'm sure you will get updated version soon again, created by Jessica and Acro team. If you already played with it and tried your new Acro, see how it works, I really recommend this tool. You will see that you put the ingredients of your Acro, you have total value, and then there is some value on the right. So this value in the end on the right is your final degree of difficulty, including base mark. So don't be upset if your acro is not so high, because it might be much more expensive after you add the base mark. And actually in this tool, there's one more cool thing. When you get your total value, including base mark, there's also a code ready for you. And the algorithm will not allow you to make mistake and miss some components, which is, I think, is great. And I really, really recommend you to use it. Okay. Next slide. No more subgroups. Now we have only main groups. They are the same as before. Airborne, all your jumps and throws, balance, platform, and combined. No more subgroups. So again, don't worry, you will not miss anything. When you write your code, you just indicate the first letter of the main group, and then you start from construction. That's it. And you can't not to declare your main group letter Otherwise, you will not have your drop-down menu for this exact acro. Yes, and remember, we always repeat, if you choose acro A, don't try to get components from platform combined or whatever. If you are in group A, stay in group A. B, B, C, C, P, P. Stay in your box. I saw coach cards, then coach tried to put bonus from group C into group B because they did by hand. This is not correct. It will be automatically a base mark. I can tell you even more. The goal of this new catalog was to minimize a chance for a coach to get a base mark for a wrong declaration. So we were trying to think in advance for you where you might get mistake, and we try to simplify the whole coding system so you don't get a base mark. And for now, from what we heard, it works. I will tell you where to pay attention. And as before, we have many questions about platforms and balance. Remember, platforms are done on a surface. I saw only once in my life when the platform was completely lifted up from the water. Usually all the platforms are done on a surface. You can see the base swimmer, support swimmer is in horizontal position. You can see it on the left. And in the end of the platforms, you may have somersault or dive, dismount ending. And usually platforms are more slow, they travel, they are maintained on a surface longer. And the opposite is group balance, where would it be stuck or lift, the future swimmer or support with future swimmer always go up and taken away from the surface. And this is something new. In group B, the future swimmer must remain on the support from beginning to the end. This is a new thing. So no more stuck with crashing. I remember it was very confusing in the past years when judges didn't know, was it supposed to be stuck with crash or it was not well executed stuck. So we remove it not to confuse judges. So no more stocks and lifts with crashing. Great. And usually stocks and lifts, they go much faster than the platforms. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, and platforms are 2 or 3 eights, etc. Okay, I think we went through the basics a little bit. Now we will speak about construction. Remember, when we will speak about construction, we will speak some specific things about the whole acrobatic movement, the idea, the skeleton of the acrobatic movement. I'm sure you're on that stage right now where when you know all the terms and the name of the roles. Good. Just a reminder, in group C, usually we have 2 formations. So inside your whole acrobatic movement, the construction is separated into balance and dynamic formation. And they both works together and they create one acrobatic movement from group combined. Either the future swimmer continue the motion and enters the water, or jump on the support and remain on it until submergence. This is the same as before. It wasn't changed. And let's move. I really want to pay a lot of attention to specifics. Okay. Now we grouped many constructions in one code. First of all, now it's easier for technical controllers to, to see, to identify the code. And from other hand, it helps coaches to try something different. Not to choose, oh, I will use this because it's so expensive. No. Now you have, for example, one code. I like this example, stuck head down. And I'm expecting this year will be fantastic using many different, options of this acro. And for example, now it doesn't matter if you have spotters on the side, or the position is in split, or tuck, or pike, or fishtail, whatever. It will all be in your stuck head down construction. And if you try something else, this would be your artistic impression. Again, the accent goes to artistic impression, to variety, to creativity. So yeah, from one hand, it's simplify, and from other hand, it gives more choice to try. Good. I think one of the best things we did is that we remove the prescribed number of the base swimmers. So now if you have 6 swimmers and they push until the acro until the ceiling, now you have the same chances as those who have bigger teams. And it's easier for the coach, because I remember many base marks came from because coaches declare, for example, a big stack, but in fact they have only 5 swimmers. Automatically base mark. Again, I come back to the beginning. We try to minimize the chances to get a base mark. Plus, for controllers, it's good, less codes, because as you know, there are more than 100 codes. And it's very hard to remember and control them all. Plus, technical controllers do not have review underwater. So how can we check? Only if they walk on a deck and calculate, but no one, I think, do it. So now it's all together, doesn't matter big stack or small stack. I think it's in all groups right now, big or small. Now it's all in the same code. There will be only one exception, and we will speak about it in group A, where you must have determined number of swimmers. But this is closer to the second half of the lecture. Good. We continue speak about construction. Before it wasn't written, now it is written to make sure we have everything in the rules and no misunderstanding. If you look at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures, they all are lifts, construction lift. But the positions are different, and the way base swimmer hold each other and the way they hold future swimmer is different. Again, we do not cut for the coaches possibilities how to push, right? It's your choice, it's your technique, it's your strategy. And it's all called lift. And these rules are not just about lift, it's about everything. But I think these examples are the best one to demonstrate that the same construction, but different types of pushing and holding each other. So again, if you have picture, remember it's just an example. In the previous catalog where you got more than 300 pictures, you saw many different variants. So it's still the same. And you can see it. Oh, someone is painting on my screen. Okay. It's not me, Victoria. I'm sorry. I don't know. Someone decided to paint a little bit for me.
I don't know how to correct
I don't know how to remove it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm afraid to touch anything. Okay. Direction. Next component. So we go construction, direction. We speak about each component of the acro separately, and then we will go specifically to each group. And inside the components of the algorithm, we will speak about allowances. So next component is direction, in which future swimmer moves before entering the water. As you remember, I will compare a lot with the previous catalog. Before, if you remember, we got 2 types of forward direction. Everyone asked me how it's possible. Now, no more. We have only one direction forwards, because it was a big confusion, capital letters forward, not capital. It was a big mess. Again, we remove pain from the coaches and from controllers. Now you have only upwards, backwards, forwards, sideways, and reverse. And for the coaches, if you're watching this video and you didn't read yet the catalog, or you maybe miss it, Do not declare inwards direction when you jump backwards and then forwards. We will not award you a code because it's too dangerous for the swimmers. It's like from diving. We are not going to do that. Many people ask, no, it's too dangerous, especially for young swimmers and not so experienced ones. So don't even try. We will send your application back. Good. Positions. Next component of the algorithm, a little bit different from the past years. So now all positions divided into, of course, we have group A, which is different group. Now let's speak about group B, P, and sometimes we use it in C. So we divide positions in head up, sit or lay or stand on all 4 or 3, head down, or extreme flexibility. And again, we highlight it many times. When you have positions for extreme flexibility, like drop and queen, please be very careful, because we heard many stories then coaches were running for a high DD and the swimmers were injured. So please be very careful. If you want to do it, you know your swimmers can do it. Pay a lot of attention to their recovery, make sure they are okay. But if you may be lucky and you have very flexible girl, maybe she will not get injured, but again, you have to control that. And inside head up position, they divide into stand on 1 leg, stand on 2 legs, and inside all these 4 that I just mentioned, we have positions divided with 3 attributes: arch, when there is arch in the back; hip flexion, when legs go or leg go forward or sideways; and miscellaneous, all other, straight body, split, etc. Again, this part is the same as before. So you have some examples of these positions on the right and in the bottom of the screen. Good. Now will be video. I hope it works. Remember, as before, we do not consider takeoff as position. Let's look at the video. I will show you in slow, like with pauses. So this is the beginning of your acro. This is still takeoff. So takeoff, this thing, we do not consider as position. Your position 1 will be this. The first position in the order that future swimmer achieved after the takeoff. And position 2 will be line. Oh, good thing, before I forgot. If you remember before, we got line, head down with a exclamation mark. We don't have that anymore. Forget about it. Again, to simplify life of coaches and controllers. Now, if she finish head down or she start head down, we don't specify, we don't have any more code LN exclamation mark. So erase it from the memory. New catalog, new rules. Good. Let's move. As we spoke before, and we still receive some questions about it, the start position on the surface is not considered for calculation. So on the surface, before you start rising up, before your allowance, we don't care. You can do as you wish. It's your strategy. I faced, for example, from my experience, the same stuck head down, shoulders on feet. Some people do from pike with spread legs, some do from swirly, table tuck. So it's individual. And again, this is one of the reasons we don't want to limitate those things. Position of the hands are optional for group A. So here you can see the same jump, but you see how different the position is. It's just the technique. So in group A, it's optional. For group B, please read very carefully. I predict in this season, we might have many questions and the questions, I think is the best word, about positions, because now it is more strict in group B and P. And if you use it in group C, on the hand captures, because now it's super specified. So pay attention to those positions. Okay, we speak about positions, the big part. What is most important? The 45 degrees allowance is still the same as before. So it's the same as we did past season. A new thing, what is different, and if controllers are here, please pay attention. We have some positions that require deviation of the torso forward. These positions are needle, sail, queen, or backward. Needle, sail, queen, and eye position. What to do? For example, in vertical split, we as controllers look only the degree of the leg movement, or glass, only the leg movement and capture. But in these 4 positions, we also check deviation of the torso. More for when you technical control, you should look at deviation of the torso and leg movement separately. What it means? If you look at the picture, this is how originally the needle was supposed to be. This is okay because if you look in the needle description, this position requires 90 degrees forward and more. So not less. So you can go forward. That's why this picture is okay. Next picture is okay. Leg drops a little bit down. The shoulders go a little bit up. Fine. We are safe. Next picture, I think it's anatomically not possible to do. But if someone do it, I will not get surprised. Everything can happen now. So if you see that, send me a picture, please. I'm very excited. But I think it's almost impossible. This one, why it is a base mark? Because our shoulders and torso rise up too much. They get not in a safe zone. The leg is still okay. Or it can be opposite. The torso is okay, but the leg drops. This is what we usually see. Or it can be in the same time both, and shoulders rise up and the leg drop down. In past season, I remember there was one competition, then this position pass, because it wasn't clear, it was for a second drops and then back. So I understand why it wasn't a base mark, but this also might happen. So if controllers are here, you need to be ready. This position is expensive and swimmers do it. That's why we choose, I think, needle is the best example. Okay. Next, what is also important? Position must be clearly shown. We must see a small stop in positions like in figures. This is very important. No more this passing something, kicks in vertical split in eye position, amazing, 1 point plus and go. No, now we judges and us controllers, we can't recognize. Now it needs to be with a small stop. What is good, what we did for the coaches after so many feedback, is that until which level and from which level we start counting positions. So all declared position in all main groups, first, second, and third, must be clearly shown and higher than. If the position is head up, knees is the measure. If position is head down, and everyone was super happy, waist. So no more shoulders dry, which is very hard to do. Now waist. So we are realistic. Again, it's wonderful. And if the position is horizontal, full body out of water. Good. One of the questions from Q&A. Positions counted until certain level, including if it's bonus for position 3. What happened if there are 4, 5 position, etc.? We all look at them until certain water level. The answer is, as DTC, we only look at any declared position. Position 1, position 2, and if a third position bonus is declared. Any additional positions are not looked at. We don't care, it's artistic impression. So I think it's more than clear. And yeah, we care about 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good. Let's move a little bit. Next. Again, this part have many questions, so let's go. We speak right now about group B, also group P and C, where we use positions from group B. The position 1 is defined as what we identify as position 1. The first position clearly, I would like to mark it, clearly shown by the future swimmer that is above the height allowance. Okay, first example, everyone's favorite porpoise. We have so many questions about porpoise. Imagine there is a platform like on this picture. The future swimmer is in pike position underwater. While the construction is lifted up, the future swimmer performs a porpoise action to a bamboo position, completed above the waist. In that case, bamboo will be position 1, not the box, because the box is the passing one. If the coach want to declare box, the coach need to stop in it, declare box, and then go to bamboo. But if you declare box as your position 1, you can declare bamboo. Sorry, porpoise bonus, and we get to this bonus a little bit later when we speak about group P. Another example, our all favorite stuck head down. On a surface, the future swimmer is on tabletop. They start rising, legs open to all position and then to bamboo. There's clear stop and then close. So in this case, all will be position 1. Or you can do other way, go from tabletop, PanAm into bamboo position. No problem. Just make sure it's clear and you follow all the rules and all the requirements. Okay. I try to jump on the next page. I'm sorry, I tried to jump on the next page. You don't want me to go. Oh, yes, thank God. All good. For group A, also used in group C, the first position clearly shown by the future swimmer in the air following the takeoff position. I already showed you this video before, what we count as position 1 in group A and what we consider a takeoff. Now I will turn on the video also from group A, but where the pike will be your position 1. So this is the takeoff phase, and the pike is your position 1. The same principle would be in group C when the acro is happening through support. So future swimmer jump, touch the support swimmer and continue moving until enter the water. In this case, it's not like in the previous catalog. This part would be considered as takeoff, and you declare the first position shown after the takeoff. In this case, as on the picture, the tuck will be your position 1. Again, if you're not sure, do not hesitate to ask a question to World Aquatics and get official paper with the answer. Okay. Yeah. One of the questions is, okay, what if I want to do after takeoff, I still want to hold a line position? Okay, no problem. Just make sure you maintain it until the end, or you maintain it for long enough that it's not considered as a takeoff. Here would be an example. In this case, line will be position 1 and the only position. Good. Important notes about positions. Positions must be declared in the order of performance. The coach can't skip position and choose the highest one. Also, it happened before on one of the events. In all handstands, position 1 is always bamboo. The legs of the future swimmer can go through all position through the tag or through the box. Always bamboo as position 1 in handstand. If the coach wants to declare any other position as position 1, then the future swimmer needs to go in it directly and show like a slight stop pause in it. So we as controllers, we recognize what they do. For example, I try to hide the video. Imagine what usually happens. Handstand, the swimmer goes through the, in previous catalog, beluga position. Now it's all in bamboo. Tararararam, no problem. Bamboo is your position 1. If you want to do a handstand and declare all or willow, okay, start in table tag, rise up and do willow or all and stop in it, and then, for example, close the leg or move them to another position, etc. But in handstands, bamboo is always position 1. Okay. I see people shaking the heads. That's good. I see some people on my screen. Amazing. Good. Next, I tried to move. Give me a second. Okay, in group balance and platform, there are a few exceptions for it's not me. For declaring position 1 and first type of connection. Be careful here, it's very important. While the construction is rising, the DTC okay, it's hard to explain. While construction is rising, DTC look at positions. And sometimes you can see, it's better if I show on myself, when they stand up and go on one leg. So it can be needle, sail, an eye position. It happened before. So if they stand up and go immediately on this one leg position, it's okay, because you will declare this position on one leg as position 1, and then they get on one leg. This would be your first connection. What happens, and it happened before too, when they rise up on 2 legs, they stay, and then decided to lift the leg. Then it will be a problem. Then, if they declare position on one leg, stand up, hold 2 legs stand for too long. What is too long? 2 seconds and more. And then move on one leg, then it's a base mark. One of my favorite questions. Okay, but what if we want to declare a line as stand position as 1 and then move? You're safe, no problem. Standing position and as position 2, what you do on one leg. You can do it. This exception is only if you want to declare your position standing on one leg as position 1. Then you have to move as fast as you can on it. Don't risk these seconds. Okay, let me come back. I try to move the bar the bar of the Zoom. Okay, here you can see this phrase from the rules. The DTC will check how long the future swimmer holds. One of my favorite questions, do you check every position declared with stopwatch? No, only if DTC sees that position was held too long, as per catalog. If we see that it was declared position on one leg, but they hold it eternity, like really obviously 3 seconds and more, is the same actually as airborne weight. Usually if airborne weight is declared correctly, and sometimes even 4 seconds and more, you know, this vertical sustain, technical controllers are well trained enough, and you definitely can see if it's too long holding and or not hold long enough. Here is the same principle. If we see that it's too long, we double check. So we don't check every single position. Okay, so this rising is the same as takeoff in group A. Here it's written. Okay, this would be an example. Okay, it might not work. I try to, no. I think I will show you this video on the next, when we will have the practice, next session, I'm going to show it to you. You don't want to press. Okay. Okay, next rule, which is super important, and make sure if coaches are here, make sure you don't do this mistake. New rules, not like before. The second position must be different from the first one. Exception is the bonus for a third position. What it means? Your position 1, position 2 must be different. But your position 3 may be the same as position 2 or position 1. So you can repeat it in bonus because we as controllers don't know what you declare. We see what you declare only as position 1 and as position 2. For example, before our favorite combination was to do needle, needle as position 2. No, now you have to make a change. Now you, for example, you need to go an eye, then needle. Okay, maybe even opposite way. Or in group B, heron, second heron, not possible. Heron, glass, amazing, fantastic. Kite, kite, no. Kite, tag, okay. Or example from the platform, bamboo, owl, position 3 bonus, another owl. Then it's okay. Okay, let's move. And when we explain about changing position, we use one of my favorite terms. Make sure if you have position 1 from one apartment, you jump into another to your neighbors. No one says if you do head down position, you, for example, on a platform, you can't go to one stand position. We try to do with kids needle, where you have to stand one position on a platform and then move in all position. It's possible. So apartments, if we say a little bit in a strict root way, apartment is the number. So you need to do, this is the number. So you need to go in another number. What I would suggest you from what I faced already in the past few months, near each position, it's also written sit, lay, or stand. So double check when you declare something, double check everything with written description. Remember the written description prevail. Like it's more like the pictures are pictures, but you need to read and follow what is written. So be careful, this catalog is a thing that you need to go through and read because there are many small, tiny nuances hidden inside that if you're a coach, you may find many cool new ideas there. And if you're controllers, you may find also very important things you have to control. So don't skip it. It's not like a previous one, very colorful with a lot of pictures. Yes, many pictures, but many restrictions now. So don't just scroll. It's very nice. You know, there are very nice things to pay attention for. Okay. In group C, in constructions like flight about second formation, flight about lift on heads, or from any kind of throw, jump on lift, you have usually two formations. I spoke about this before, balance and dynamic one. So jump and balance. So when our famous one fly above something, your position 1 code will always indicate the position of the balance one. And second position will always indicate the jumping one. In some constructions in group B, usually you can have two future swimmer, like here. If they perform the same position, you declare it only once in the place for position 1, like here. On this picture, they perform cobra and cobra. So you declare cobra only once. My favorite question, okay, Anastasia, but what if you have two different positions? And I saw already people start doing it and it's so exciting. Then a small present for the coaches from our group. The coach can choose the higher one as position one. So it doesn't matter what's happening. And the second position is the lower one. If you look at this video, they perform the same position. Don't look at the code. So in the video, they perform line or arch. They are now the same group. And the second one also perform line. So in this case, coach declare line only once. Give me a second. And if, imagine in that acro that I try to put it back on the screen why I did this. And imagine in this acro, the first swimmer jump line, but the second one will perform J or ring or something more expensive than line. Like imagine this one would be a J or ring. So the coach, even though she or he jumps second one, but its position is more expensive, then the coach declare this as position one because it's more expensive and line as position two because of this rule. Because you have different positions, and a small help for you can be used, for example, in group C with construction stage RTHR, which you just saw, or snake. But it can be any other, it's just examples. Maybe you will do some balance with two future swimmers, or you declare a new construction. So feel free to do it. Good. We continue to speak about position. Our, again, very favorite one is the hand capture. So what we are looking for, not just a tap or scratch or something, you know, close. No, it needs to be a grasp. We need to see as controllers a catch, actual catch of the leg. And another thing, this hand capture must happen by future swimmer themselves, by their own ability and without the help of the support or base swimmers. It's super important. I know, very scary big slide, but I will say you in, you know, regular words. We have some positions that required a hand capture by opposite arm. What opposite arm means? If your left leg moves, you need to catch it with your right arm. If your right leg moves, you need to catch it with your left arm. There are some positions that can be done with opposite or both arms or blind catch. So again, double check near your position in the rules what is written specifically to this position. For example, glass eye harp. The future swimmer must catch the moving kicking leg with the opposite arm hand. Clear. Pin. The future swimmer needs to catch back leg. So if position is on a belly, it's the leg which is above the head. If pin is sitting head up, then it's the back leg catch. The queen is exceptional position where the future swimmer catch the leg on which he or she stands, not the vertical one. And you can see it on a picture. Harp is a new position, another present. So yes, before people ask me, yes, it's possible to do. There are plenty of variants. So it's another something interesting what coaches may use this season. And we are excited to see what's coming. Another important thing, blind catch or blind capture means that the future swimmer catches their foot or feet without looking, with the opposite arm or both arms. Elbow or elbows look forward, not backwards, not a side capture. So this is how an eye position was originally supposed to be. This is not okay because elbows look backwards, and this is pin position. We spoke about it before. Next thing, if nothing is specified in the written description of the position, the capture can be done with either arms. If the value is 0 in the capture column of the table, it means that capture is not required but may happen. Again, please read the catalog, read the rules. One of the Q&A questions. In hard position, it is written blind capture near position, but in general rules for position, it is written that harp future swimmer must catch the leg with the opposite arm. So can we do either variant? Yes. Again, go in the catalog. As per harp position in group B position table, page 42, blind capture requires must have blind or opposite arm capture. Next question, can we achieve an eye position not by kicking back leg, but grabbing it with opposite arm and move it to an eye position? Yes, as long as the eye position is held and shown while holding the leg with the opposite arm. Refer to the page 11 of the catalog. So some Q&A answers for very common questions. Finally, okay, we finished with positions. Now we continue our travel for the ingredients, for the parts of the algorithm. Area of support, type of connection. Remember, when we have values, we consider future swimmer, support swimmer, area of support, how high is center of mass of the future swimmer, blind captures, etc. I don't want to stop here. I think you all know about this already. What to do if you have two types of connection in your acrobatic movement? You must declare the first one shown above the surface. You're not allowed to skip the first one and declare the second one instead. This is like the general rule. But remember, we have a teeny tiny exception about standing on one leg. Okay, but in general, this rule works. You can't do palms, then remove one arm and declare one palm, one palm. No, in one palm, you need to go directly. Good. In groups B and P, the base support swimmers cannot help the future swimmer achieving positions, but they can help give additional supporting platforms while performing the grip. So no one is going to give you a base mark if your future swimmer will be shaking. The base swimmer decide to grab her or his leg, make it more sustained, and to save the acro. So no one is going to penalize that. But if the base swimmer or support swimmer will help the future swimmer to do a harp or, I don't know, or a needle or an eye, then it will be a base mark. But they can help to balance. They can help to maintain the grip. Again, for specifications, please go in the catalog and check what is written in each column in group B. It's very, very important. Because in some grips, it is written the help of the spotters, etc., the helpers, and some you can't do that. So if, for example, in palms, like you can't have extra help there. Right? But in platforms, for example, when they balance on standing on two legs, it's okay. Good. Next component of the algorithm, rotation of the construction. Let's speak about my favorite example. Remember, we have two types of rotation of the construction. Then the whole thing turns, and then or where the support swimmer with future swimmer on top rotates. My favorite example is a birthday cake with a candle. So in stock, this is the stock. The candle and fire, only they turn, and the cake remain, the base swimmers remain the same. In platforms, the whole birthday cake turns with future swimmer on top. Like on this picture, they all turn in. Here, the base swimmers push support and they turn together. What is important in your rules, and it's different, so pay attention here, allowances. So for 360 and more, the allowance is 90 degrees less than declared is a base mark. So be very, very careful, it's different one. And of course, we calculate number of rotation until waist level of the future swimmer. What to do if you have only 180 degrees turn in your stock? Then there is no allowance. It must be performed from wall to the wall, or if you're in open pool, from from wall of your pool to another wall of your pool. So make sure you complete everything. You can remember, you can over rotate, but you can't do less. So again, please be very careful with allowances. It's more strict now. And as example of the rotation of the stock, please look at the video. And make sure that the turn is not happening just as turn in waist, in torso of the future swimmer. And I can tell you from the experience from the past years, and it's not only my experience, we share with other controllers. When the actual stock turning is happening, it's another speed. You can look at thighs of future swimmer. It's one type of rotation, but then they try to cheat and do only by waist. Thank you. Thank you so much. So make sure they don't do the torso. If they try to cheat and turn only in waist, US controllers, you will see it. It's different motion, it's different speed. Usually it's very easy to recognize, especially when you saw it, I don't know, thousands of times already. You don't even watch, you're like, oh, cheaters, base mark. But if you are not sure, of course, better to review, because if you get protest and they will be right, it will be very sad. Okay, let's come back. No one wants to get a base mark. No base mark, please. Okay, when we speak about rotation of the construction in group P, again, this is something new and is different from the past year. The levels are the same, waist level if position is head down, knees if position is head up. And if you already find this red line, the waist level and knees go throughout many groups and many controlling levels for allowances. Again, it was done for technical controllers to ease your life. Okay, so in group P, rotations will only begin to be counted once platform is at maximum height. If during the rotation the future swimmer significantly lose height until the, for example, knees of the future swimmer, if position is head up, go under, or waist go under if position of the future swimmer is head down, it's a base mark. If construction has not completed declared rotation, consider an allowance at this point. What is the good thing? Rotation may start during the ascent, but the TC will start counting the degrees of the rotation from the moment construction reaches its maximum height. And I hope the video works on next slide, fingers crossed. Allowance for 180 degrees now is 45 degrees less than declared is a base mark. Again, remember you can over rotate to be safe, but make sure you are in a safe zone. For 90 degrees, no allowance. It must be done from 2. One of the questions. If the platform never reaches the surface, only we can see the ankles of the future swimmer. Is it a base mark? If the future swimmer doesn't reach the minimum required height, knees or waist, for the position they declared, yes, it will be a base mark. If the question is about the construction, TC will try to recognize what was declared. If TC can see that it's completely not what was declared, it's a base mark. So again, we follow the rule of the allowances of the level of the turns, knees, waist. So usually teams do not risk and it works. So let's hope we will have no base marks there. If you look at the video before you watch, they start doing the rotation from underwater. So we don't know what they declare, but as coach, if I would have this position, like this construction, this platform, I would declare the 90 degrees, not 180, because yes, they start from wall to wall, but remember, we start counting when the construction reaches maximum height. Let's look at the video. So they form, they rise, and only from here we start counting. Go, go, go. Oh, okay, I will not stop because it's jumping. Turn, 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 turn. So definitely they did 90, but 180 don't declare. Yes, they start while ascending, amazing, but 90 would be safe to declare in this case, not 180. Good. Next component, types of rotation in the air. Remember, they can happen in sagittal plane, somersault forward, backward, horizontal plane like twists or twirls, or what we have in hybrids, or frontal plane like cartwheels or side somersault. Okay. Now I will try to open the video and put it on the screen. Let's hope it will work. Okay. Victoria, can you see my screen?
No.
No, okay. I will try this way.
Yes.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yay! Yes, victory. Let's go. So just a reminder how we calculate somersault and twist. So you will see the video where the somersault and twist happening in the same time. The first one, we look how we calculate the somersault. We count each 180. If we speak easier way, how many times the future swimmer turns head down and then returns to head up. So this would be your first 180. And then they enter feet first. This is your second half. So this would be one somersault. Then we calculate how many times the future swimmer rotate around self while doing somersault. This would be first, second, third, fourth, and half. Good. So 2.5. And small tip from technical controlling point of view. I will bring my friend. So in acros, I don't know if you can see it. When you do a simple somersault, the construction is there. They do the somersault one and they finish facing the same way where they jump from, the construction, if the jump is backward, for example. If they do one somersault and half twist, they will finish facing away from construction. If they declare one somersault and one twist, logically they will finish facing to the construction. The same for one somersault with two twists, they will finish facing to the construction. 2.5 away from construction, and if they manage to do 3 or at least enter in a safe zone, they will be close to the facing the same way from where they jump from. Usually this works, but again, you always have to calculate how many turns they did, because sometimes the jump can be different. or the technique may be different. So double check, but usually, like we usually have time to play game, you know, to recognize the twists. Maybe we will do it on the next session. And usually this rule works. If they do one twist, they finish facing the construction from where they jump from. If 1.5, it's away, etc. Good. Let's keep going. Next one. Twists. All twists, including bonuses, all of them. The number of twists is calculated until waist level of the future swimmer. Visible, clear border for detecting rotation. Twist can start during a takeoff phase. This applies especially for two-axis rotations in the air. In two-axis rotation in the air, when acrobatic movement includes somersault and twist, the twist can happen at any time in the acrobatic movement. For example, after completing somersault, while rotating in the air, while taking off, etc. So again, you have to look what is actually happening in the water. Now, thank God, we have slow motion, so it will be easier for you to calculate everything and see the borders, especially because it's very hard to catch the somersault and twist. Yeah. If you have 360 twist and more, the allowance is 180 less than declared is a base mark. If you have only 180 twist, no allowance, from wall to the wall or more. This is our favorite picture, ballerina. So imagine the coach declared 360. They finish exactly 360, amazing. They did only 180, base mark. They did even less than 180, base mark. They did 180 and a little bit more and enter the safe zone, then it's okay. So please have this nice picture with you and all the allowances. One of the questions, what if the, okay, remember, twist can start with small kick forward action and after a takeoff, forward. So during the takeoff phase before twisting, we do not consider it as a position regardless of the degree of kicking leg. The degree of the kicking leg can be more than 90. So we don't consider, it's first, it's very fast. Second, we consider it not as position, we consider it as technique of performing twist. And I made a screenshot for you, like it's more than 90. It's not, because before in the previous catalog was small fast kick action. This is definitely not a small one. So we changed this statement for this rule because on one competition TC penalized, give a base mark to team because it was not a small one. And yes, and they say you didn't declare it as position. No, this is a rule, this is written now, so let them be. And if you look in fast motion, you will not like see it so clear. That's why I put it on the left. If you look at fast, it doesn't look so big. Good. And the question is, what if the coach wants to declare kick action as position 1? For example, split and 2-line. Can coach still declare straight body somersault with 2 twists? Kick action is not declared as position. Refer to page 13 of the catalog, this statement. So you can do it, but you can't declare it as position because it's considered twist technique in this case. In the case of the straight body somersault, in this example. Okay, good. We continue speak about rotations in the air. Now we speak about somersault. All somersault, including bonuses. The number of somersault is calculated until beginning of submergence of the future swimmer. What is beginning of submergence? means not a slide of a body part or body part submerging and then coming back and appearing above the surface, but when the body of the future swimmer goes directly into the water and never rises up again. Beginning of the submergence starts to be counted when a quarter of the body disappears underwater. Allowance for all somersault is 90 degrees. Less than declared is a base mark. Example on the right, they definitely fall on a belly 90 degrees, base mark. If you look a little bit in the bottom of the screen, imagine they declare 360 somersault straight body. This is how they're supposed to finish. This is a base mark, the same as we have on the video. What happens if they go a little bit more inside the final 90? Then it's okay. No questions. So make sure if you do the somersault, make sure you, at least if you can't complete the somersault, make sure at least you enter the safe zone. Okay. Okay. What if your swimmers can't accomplish 360 somersault and you're like, I'm not sure what will happen. I'm not sure they will enter this 90 degrees. Then you declare dive and over rotate. I can tell you we tried this yesterday during the practice, like from 10 attempts of the acro, the swimmers did only 3. So they couldn't achieve one somersault. So we decided to declare a dive. And we better train more, achieve one somersault later than get a base mark for not accomplish. So you can keep it as the plan for the future upgrade of your acro. So if you're not sure, better do dive and over rotate it. Okay.
I'm so sorry, Anastasiya.
Yes.
Can we do a small break for our interpreter?
Yes.
Sorry, like 5 minutes break or something like that. Be okay?
Yes, sure, sure. I'm sorry, I'm unstoppable.
No, don't worry. It's amazing, but she's doing all the translations simultaneously. It's not so easy for her.
I'm sorry.
No, no,
I'm
no,
sorry
no.
from
It's okay.
class.
No worry. Okay,
Okay.
5 minutes, please.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. Let's come back. Okay. Good. Let's continue. I hope everyone can hear me. So if you have a somersault, we keep speaking about the somersault. If you have somersault in arched position, like on picture, if you look for the alignment between shoulders and knees, like on this picture. So make sure this alignment enters the safe 90. Then it's okay. For cartwheels and handsprings, it's the same, 90 degrees less than declared base mark. And on this video, you will see example of a handspring from group A. Let me turn off the music. This would be a handspring in group A. So if she would just fall on the back, that would be a base mark. Good. Let's move. Bonuses for all groups. Remember, one bonus you can declare only once per acrobatic. Unless it is specified in the table. I think we have only one bonus like that. It's roll. Rolling in group C you can declare twice for one acro. And unfortunately, for now, you can't have more than 2 bonuses in the same acro. Okay. Coming back to our favorite acrobatic movement, fly above the second formation. So the fly need to happen, must be performed when the future swimmer of the second formation above which one the flight is happening is at the position allowance safe zone or higher. So no more going up, down, and then the flight is happening. It needs to happen in the maximum height, the flight phase, when the swimmer is on maximum height or in a safe zone. Next one. What happens if you have double acro? We have very nice description in group A, and there was one of the questions, can we have the same extended explanation for other groups? And the answer was, double acrobatic bonus is a bonus for all groups and is meant to be the same, even though written slightly different for A, B, C, and P. And it will be cleaned for in the next version of the catalog. So the same thing from group A applies for other groups too. Good. Important notes. If you have absolutely the same equal acrobatic movement happening in the same direction or in different direction, but in the same time, absolutely the same, you declare the construction only once and add the bonus for double acrobatic movement. If you have two different acrobatic movements, don't do it because it will be happening in the same time. Don't do it, it will be a base mark for both. So it doesn't make sense to do it. When there is submersion or no between acrobatic movements, it still will be counted as two separate acrobatic movements. And I prepare for you a video. I hope no more loud music. Example, what happened if in old rules it was one acro and now it's two. In old rules, remember when there is no submersion, it was one, not anymore, and not with the previous catalog. So imagine there is jump, then this swimmer do not submerge and they push her. So these are two acrobatic movements. So be very careful with that. Minimum declaration, what it means. No matter what happened, you always must declare these things. If you have group A, you always declare construction, direction, position 1. Everything else is optional. Group B, group B and P, platforms and balance. Construction, type of connection, position 1. Always there. Combined, construction, direction, position 1. Always there. If you don't respect this written description, it will be a base mark. Example of the acro, like I write for you on the right. The coach declares stuck head down, shoulders on feet, all as like following the minimal description. But coach is not sure they will complete one rotation. The coach declare half and it's okay, and over rotated. The coach wasn't declare if they do position 2 inside allowance. They may not declare, or imagine they declare stuck head down, shoulders on feet, all position 2 bamboo, half rotation, but the coach wasn't sure if they accomplished position 3 by the allowance. Coach decided not to do it. But this minimal requirement is there, like is the core of the acrobatic movement. So make sure you don't skip it, and calculator that Jessica did will not allow you to go further until you made the correct declaration, which I think is fantastic. And I think ISS system too. Good. I will not stop for a long time for about the requirements for teams. You all know that for technical team, you need to have one acro, maximum DD 3.0. It's higher than before, and it's including the base mark value. Team free, 3 team acro, free choice, but must not repeat. Acrobatic routine, 7 acros, at least 1 from each group, ABCP, but not maximum than 2 from one group. For example, you may have 2 group A, 2 group B, 2 group C, and one platform. One of the questions, could I present 2 acros without declarations, just for artistic impression? No. The number of acrobatic movements allowed in each type of routine and category are restricted, and extra acrobatic movement will result in penalties. So it's all written in the rules. About, I will not stop on the age group. The only thing I want to mention about youth and 12 and under is there is a safety limit, and if you are not following the safety limit, it will be a base mark for that acro. So be very careful. And again, it's all written in your rules. About declaration, what does it mean? Do not repeat the same acro. In group A, you can't repeat same positions as position 1 or position 2, but you can repeat this position as bonus. For example, here, the same construction, same direction, but the problem was that the pike was position 1. Can't work. The same construction, direction, but all positions are different. Amazing, worked. In group B, you can't repeat same construction and same type of connection. Here, the same, different connection, but same construction, not work. But different constructions, different connections, everyone is happy, all good, smile. Group C, a little bit easier. You can't repeat the same construction. That's it. So again, it's a little bit easier. Group P is most restricted ones. You can't repeat same construction, the same type of connection, and can't repeat the same position as position 1 or 2, with exception of the third position bonus. For example, these two acros, different connection, different positions, but because the construction is the same, not working. Different construction, connection, positions, amazing, it works. And remember, this position 1, position 2 limit is applicable for specific group. For example, you can do needle in platform and needle in balance. So it will be okay because it's different groups. Again, stay in your box. Okay, we go to the most interesting part. Finally, we get to the exception in group A, where you have predetermined number of base swimmers, and flyers and pushers. So if you want to declare jump from square, you need to have minimum of 5 swimmers in total. 1 swimmer who push by leg, 1 swimmer who push the legs, 2 people forming actual square, and the future swimmer. So in total 5. Of course, and more. I think this is the only construction with requirement of the number of swimmers, which you need to have as minimum. Okay. Next. Group A, direction. Please differentiate your understanding of direction of the jump and rotation in the air, in which direction rotation in the air is happening. It is different from past years. It's new, and it may look more complicated as before, but it's easier when you understand it. So remember, you choose the direction that future swimmer demonstrates during the takeoff. But the actual somersault, for example, may happen in different direction. What it means? Like on this picture, the future swimmer jump backwards, turn, and do the actual somersaulting forward. So in your code, you indicate the jump, direction of the jump is back, but actual somersault is happening forward. And here is the twist. Or they may jump forward and do the rotation forward. Then in this case, you still have forward and forth. Okay. Here would be an example. The jump is happening backwards. Then there is half turn, double somersault forward with opening. Let's look at the video. Jump happening backward, half turn, double, open. So the jump was backward, she turns, and the actual somersaulting is happening forward. If she would jump forward and continue, then you declare direction forward and the somersault happening forward. So differentiate those two things. This is that kind of underwater stone I was talking about. A little bit change your brain direction, throws. When this future swimmer become airborne, not using the legs, it's the construction who push them. So as the direction, we declare in which direction the future swimmer moving. For example, if they are thrown legs up and fall on the butt, you declare backward. What happens if you have somersault? Imagine they're thrown up in the air and they do somersault forward. Then it's a little bit different from jumps. Then you declare as the direction where the somersault is happening, like on the video I'm going to show you. They start in pike, they are thrown in the air, and they do somersault forward. So in direction, you will declare forward and somersault forward, like in this code. Okay, this would be a homework for you. Then, positions. We have some restrictions, such as in ring, the toes, at least one leg need to touch the head or to be within 45 degrees allowance. We have more description about open position, body, free positions. I will not stop, you can read it by yourself. But again, pay attention to what is written in the catalog. For split, we don't care where torso is, we care about the leg, forward or backward. So either front leg falls more than 45 degrees base mark, or back leg falls more than 45 degrees as a base mark, or both like a scissors, it will be a base mark. On a picture, everything okay. Then, as we mentioned before, if you're not sure that your swimmer will complete somersault, declare dive. What is important? What is different from past years? Before we got 180 somersault and dive as separate things. Now it doesn't matter. 180 somersault is the same as dive. And it doesn't matter how many positions they change in the air. It's the same code right now. Good. We have special way of counting somersault in pike. Only for pike, when there is somersault in pike from beginning to the end. As first half, you start counting after the takeoff, the legs go in pike. This is your first half. And then they rotate, like on the picture. If you have pike and then something, this rule do not apply. Look at the video, please. Take off. I will try to stop for you. This was the first half. 1 somersault, 1.5, 2. So they finish feet down. If they would do close, open, it's regular one somersault. We only use special counting when it's in pike from beginning to the end. Okay, next thing is about coding. So to make sure there are no mistakes in using the bonuses, we put some bonuses from group A inside the code for the rotation. So if you have near your code letter F, that means the somersault is happening forward. If you want to do straight somersault, it will be SS and then whatever you have. If you have letter O in the end of your code, that means we have open to align position in the end. For example, 580 plus open means inside 540 you have one somersault in, let's say, tuck, and 1.5 in the end to open to line. The same if you have 720 plus open, you have 1.5 somersault in position and the last half to open into a line. And if you have to qualify for open, the line position must be declared as position 2 or be performed as position 3 bonus, and it must be performed by the knees or waist level. Yes, it's very expensive bonus, so be careful and make sure you do the actual line. Good. I will not stop here. Just a little bit thing about bonuses in group A. There are bonuses that you can't have in the same acros. They are called interchangeable codes. For example, grip, connection, and catch. They are from the same family. So the coach need to choose one, depending, of course, what you do. Okay. I hope people are still here with us. Good. There is one bonus called split. Jump, throw from split head-up position. Note, as a position 1, coach should indicate line or kite or tuck, depending on how the acro is performed, because split is considered as takeoff phase. We use this bonus in this kind of acro. And you can see the declaration here from the video. Group B, I already told you about constructions that we gather more. And I already mentioned that future swimmer needs to remain on the support from beginning to the end. Some questions from Q&A. So how to differentiate? It's actually a very interesting question. When you have 2 supports plus 2 future swimmers, or you have, like on the picture, 2 separate acrobatic movements and they are just connected, like here. How to differentiate? So when you want to declare this kind of acro, 2 supports head down with 2 future swimmer, we clearly can see that both supports and both future swimmers from the whole construction, like they form the whole construction and look unified. The weight of both swimmers is distributed between 2 supports. So they form one. But in a second example, we clearly see 2 identical small acrobatic movements where future swimmers are just connected in touching manner. The second acro can't use this code, but instead they should use tuck head down with bonus for double acro. We come, I think, to the hardest part. I will try to be as clear as possible. Area of support, type of connection. Every handstand type must be performed with straight arms from beginning to the end, submergence of the support swimmer. This applies for both future swimmer and support swimmer. The arms are not allowed to be bent with palms lower than the face. Face from top of the head until chin level. If you have connections like palms on foot, the support swimmer has straight legs and any bending would be counted as execution. What we're talking about, we speak about this one. So you can slightly bend the arms, it's okay, but you can't drop your legs anymore so low if you have these kind of connections. Arms of the support swimmer must remain within vertical cone 45 degrees. The same rule apply for group C. So be very, very careful. Go through the rules again. And you have picture description about 45 degrees. In handstands in group B and C, when there is a balance in a handstand on both or one arm, the future swimmer needs to be aligned with the support swimmer on vertical axis until submergence with an allowance of 45 degrees from vertical axis. So remain aligned, okay, aligned like on a picture. The 45 degrees cone has a start point and the water surface from the support swimmer, and also while construction is turning. Future swimmer must always remain on the support. The same rule applies for group C bonuses jump and onto one foot. So you have very clear picture what we are talking about. If we move a little bit forward, this rule about the handstands. We are looking for torso of the future swimmer. Which body part need to fall away, so we start counting the fall, right, from the cone. The torso of the future swimmer needs to fall away. In group C and B, 45 degrees cone applies for both support and future swimmer separately? Yes. The answer is yes. This rule also applies for feet-feet connections and shoulders on feet. So again, be very careful. I would say this rule 45 applies for stocks in generally. And one of the questions was, can we clarify about 45 degrees? It's the same as we have in hybrids. It's 45 degrees of vertical in all radius directions. I will not read it. This is a small help table for you in the Q&A file. Which construction, with which type of connection you should use together. So it's a lot to read, but you have a small helping table and please go through it. This would be your homework, because next practice, next session, we will do practice. So make sure there will be a tricky ones. Make sure you read this table because we will use it too. Okay, one big part is transitional stack where everyone has questions. So what is transitional stack? Is when we have two supports, they rise up, one disconnect, and future swimmer finish acrobatic movement on one of the supports. Like here, they start together, disconnect, and finish on one. These are examples of transitional stack construction and what kind you can use if you want to do something different. The question is, okay, what kind of connections we may use if we do the transitional stack? You can use types of connection only those ones where you have infinity symbol. Others, no. Only those who are with infinity symbol. In this video that I'm going to show you, this is an old video before the new rules apply. So imagine this code a new way, but these palms need to be done with the straight arms. But this video will clarify what transitional stack is. So they start together, they rise up, she push her. This is what we call transitional stack. But remember, in your rules, both like the arms of the future swimmer and support must be straight. So be very careful with those. This is another big part, and I would encourage you to read it. What is the difference between two supports, transitional stack and combined acro? If we speak in few words, two support stack, the future swimmer remain on two supports from beginning to the end. In transitional stack, as I just said, the future swimmer disconnects. And my favorite question is how to differentiate transitional stack, group B, and transition onto stack in group C. Very tricky question. In transition to stack, in group C, the body weight of the future swimmer, I read this part, is fully on the first formation at the beginning of the acro. The connection with second formation is mainly for balance guide. But in transitional stack, the weight of the future swimmer will be separate on both formations at the beginning of the acro. What that means? If you have group C, the future swimmer, they rise up and she or he goes on a second formation. In transitional stack, the future swimmer already on two and just disconnect from one. So he or she don't go on it because it's already on two. Again, please, if it's not clear, go through the Q&A file because we will have the tricky acro on the next session. Okay. I try to move, why it's not moving. Good. Few words about position. Positions in group B are more grouped now. So again, you can read descriptions, what we're looking for. Safety notes, again, as mentioned before today, be careful with extreme flexibility positions such as drop and clean. About rotation of the construction in group B, very good thing, you have type of rotation and what kind of connection you can use with it. So again, it is done to minimize the chance for you to get a base mark. Now we speak a little bit about rotation of the construction in group B for stack. If you can't see the support turning, then technical controller should look at future swimmer. The turn of the stack may start during the ascent. It's different from platforms, so it's okay. And you already will calculate the number of turns. For two support stacks, there are no rotation of the construction for the moment. And maybe if we have coaches, it's your chance to create new acro code. For the bonuses, I don't want to stop for a long time. Again, we have some restrictions. What can't happen, no way in one acro, which bonuses can't happen. And if it's lift, now it is stated that the lift needs to be hold 3 seconds and more, and from which point we start counting. So again, please read the catalog. Okay, we are very close to the end. Platforms, in few words. If you have two support construction, the base swimmers must be now under both supports. If you have construction from 3 belly legs or 3 supports and more, you use construction flower. Types of connection in group platform now are gathered and they are more open, like any 3-point connection with straight body bent knees, or bridge on straight or arch bodies or legs or hands. So it's more generalized now because before there was so many connections. We simplify it, and I think it's better because now you can do more things using those codes. Some questions, yes, you can do this construction and use this type of connection. So it is confirmed now by Q&A. The question was, is there any specification where future swimmer need to stand on a platform? No, it's the coach's choice strategy, but be careful, make sure the future swimmer do not step on ribs or any other body part where it may hurt support swimmers. One of the question was for platform where you have 1, 2, 3, like one support, middle support, and another one. Does it matter how this person is sitting? No, it can be optional. It's not specified. And this I already told you before. Yes, the base swimmers can help future swimmer to balance. For the platforms, a new type of rotation of the constructions for 2 supports. And answer for the question, the future swimmer must remain on the support from beginning until the end of the declared rotation of the construction. So be careful, we have this acro, then they start turning, future swimmer jumps and they continue turn, and also can happen. Now we will speak about porpoise and speechak. This would be a porpoise action. I think you all know from figures. So from here, rise up in bamboo. And porpoise must start in pike position on a surface or underwater and finish in bamboo position to be considered as bonus. If coach wants to do other position as position 1, future swimmer needs to start in this position or go to it not through vertical, not through bamboo. If coach wants to declare box as position 1, no problem, but porpoise can't be declared as porpoise require bamboo to be position 1. So now it's all written there. I would like to show you example of the traveling, what we consider as obvious traveling. I know you all might be tired, but we are very close to the end. So this is obvious traveling. Of course, no one is asking to swim 25 meters, but make sure your traveling is obvious. About speechak, another bonus, and you see how, again, go through Q&A because some coach asked us to do examples how you can declare the positions in speechak, what can you do. Here's plenty of examples how you can do it by yourself, you don't need me. The only thing what I would mention for this kind of bonus, in speechak, both legs of the future swimmer must be straight throughout the movement. On the picture below, it is demonstrated how speechak should be executed, how it should be done. We don't declare the passing position in speechak between bamboo and shrimp. Declaration depends in which part of the acro speechak is happening. This is speechak. So either you can do from shrimp to bamboo or from bamboo to shrimp or all of them together. And the declaration depends when you do it. And again, please review it in Q&A file. Okay. And about somersault, someone asked me, okay, what if the somersault bonus happening in platform, not from the complete stand position, but a little bit like bending? It's okay, nothing specified in the rules. And these are examples where. Group C, yay. Group C, let's go. Good news, in Group C, now it doesn't matter from what kind of formation and from how many people you want to push, head down, head up, 1, 2, 3, whatever. You can push whatever from whatever you want. It all is called now THR, throw. And you can see how many different options you can have. Again, it is done not to limitate your technique. Okay, I will I will do only the yellow part, which is super important. If the bonus jump is declared after landing on the second formation, if the future swimmer falls from it anytime, it will be a base mark. If inside construction you have a bird nose symbol, means a transit or jump from one formation to another or from one formation to the water is happening. So now basically in all the codes you have THR, bird nose, and then it is stated what kind of main formation is happening. So we have much less codes as before, and you can do it either as jump or transit. It's your choice. But if you want to declare jump, make sure there is no connection between first formation and second formation. This is the desired execution for the jump. And okay, I will speak about it later. If you don't want to declare jump, you want to be safe, no problem, you can do this way, and it will be just considered as transit. But if you declare jump and do this way, it will be a base mark. What are we looking for? If you declare jump and the future swimmer goes up, head up, on a stuck head up, shoulders and upper chest of the jumping future swimmer must pass the horizontal invisible line that is on the same level with the feet. Sorry, I speak right now about stuck head down. So make sure the upper chest of the jumping future swimmer pass the 2 feet level of the second formation. If the stuck is head up, the crotch of the jumping future swimmer must pass the horizontal invisible line that is on the same level of the top of the head of the second formation. So we are really looking for very high jump. And again, be very careful, and you can see that it's possible to do. We have videos, like plenty of videos that people can do it. So don't be so afraid that it's not possible to do. Only one thing, be very careful, then you do these acros. Okay. New gathered construction and rotation for it. So all fly about second formation, whatever, lift, pair across, stuck head down, stuck from any kind of throw, now is gathered to one code. Because we as controllers can't check what is happening underwater, the way, how many people hold, etc. So now it's all the same. And this is example of the acro. And one of the question is, okay, what if the crash is happening of the future swimmer when the flight is happening and they crash on the second formation? Then it's a base mark. But if they just touch, like a slide second formation, it's just execution. Make sure they don't actual fall. Otherwise, it will be a base mark because fly didn't happen. Okay. Questions about flight, about lift on heads. You're not required to do bridge. You can do other positions, just make sure you have connection to the head. And can base swimmers help this future swimmer? Yes. And again, make sure there's connection with head or heads. In group C, we're almost done. There is a special direction called blind jump when there is no connection between future swimmer and main construction before jump. One of the examples where you can use blind jump direction. Like on the video. No connection, blind jump, amazing. Good. If you remember, we got clarification from the past rules that if you have jump, I will show on myself, it will be easier to explain. If you have jump on stuck, for example, and remain on it until submergence, or jump on a platform, you use after this landing positions from group B. If you have jump and continue moving, remember I told you already, you use as position 1 whatever happens in the air after. And you use positions from group A. If you messed up and instead of group B you declare A, right now it will be a base mark. So be very careful with your declaration. I try to simplify in my words what's written in the rules. Good. As mentioned before, new type of rotation. So when there is flight about second formation, whatever they do as second formation has its own kind of rotation of construction now. So again, be careful. If you use that kind of construction, you use special kind of rotation, not any of those. Plane and degree of rotation, only a few words. It's different from group A. It has another codes, another value. You will not find here somersault forward like F after the code that is mentioned for somersault forward. So be careful, group C is different. Make sure you double check everything. And if you have this THR, like one after another in connection, there was a question, okay, what we declare as somersault or twist, whatever we have in the air. If you have this THR plus THR, coach declares only one type of rotation in the air of the second featured swimmer. TC look at the one who is finishing the jump. That's important. Not on the first one. First one usually dive, and usually it's second who do the actual nice somersault. So TC will always look on the second one, not the first one, the one who goes in the end. So please, again, read this. Bonuses. We are very close. Hold on, everything okay? Again, we have interchangeable codes that you can declare in the same acro. Very important, like I want to highlight this. Group C, jump bonus can be declared only for stuck or stuck head down and others. Yes, the jump bonus only applies to THR on stuck, THR on stuck head down, and THR on two stucks. For example, THR on float. If an athlete can jump onto a float, this would be an application for a new acro code. So be careful. This one is used for stucks and kind of stucks, the ones that are here. And there was one question, okay, there is jump 1 foot on 1 foot, which is super expensive. And it is written that it's restricted for kids, like for 12 and under, 13, 15, and I think for juniors, no. If youth swimmers perform group C bonus 1F to 1F, would it be at base mark? Yes, and it's in the rules. So be careful, again, read the rules. Yes. Okay, I hope we didn't lose people. I see many is still with us. And yeah, I think I highlighted everything like most important. Of course, there are so much more information, but today we go through, the most important ones that should be, mentioned. And I hope everyone got very nice time.
So, and all the people, if you think you need to ask something, we are going to make a complete document, and we are going to send and put all the questions together to Anastasiya. So we have time in between this session and the next one next month. So if you will read all the things and study again and think now you miss something, put all your questions together, send us, and we are going to put all in one document to Anastasiya, and then she can bring all the answers together. Okay?
Yes. Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you so much, everyone. I think it would be, thank you for being here. And I think it would be fantastic if we can have these questions in advance, because I will have to come back to the acro group. Again, it's not me who do everything. We have fantastic people who work on this. And Yes, so if there are questions that, for example, I can't answer or need to clarify, I will need to get back to the group before the second session. So don't keep it for that session. Please send it to Victoria before.
Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you, Anastasia, again. I will interpret it for sure too. And see you next month.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Thank you. Okay, I try.